Last year, it was Myles Garrett's trade request that had Super Bowl Radio Row rocking. This year, it is Jay Glazer's report that the Raiders and Maxx Crosby are most likely done, that Crosby wants out, that it's coming soon, a trade will happen. And my immediate thought was, can the Bengals get involved in a trade like this? I actually think they're a dark horse. We will take a look at what the Bengals can offer, what other teams are offering, what other teams are involved, and of course hear from you guys on what you think about a possible Cincinnati trade for Maxx Crosby. Look, I think defensive end, pass rusher, however you want to put it, is a need for the Bengals. I think they have enough stars right now to consider more stars as a part of this team. No reason the Cincinnati Bengals can't get involved in the Maxx Crosby sweepstakes. So, if you're already thinking this guy's nuts, this guy's crazy, fine. Give me a percent chance that we see the Bengals trade for Maxx Crosby. Give me a percentage down below. It begins with the asking price, right? That was probably the first thought after Jay Glazer basically said the Raiders and Crosby are done. Crosby's done with the Raiders are done with him. Just wait and see. A trade is coming. Kind of disheartening right away to see Jay Glazer, and again, this is all included in the huge bombshell, however you want to put it, report of him sitting down yesterday with Yahoo Sports. It will take more than the Micah Parsons trade, is what he said. It's at least in that area, if not more. And again, going back to the Micah Parsons trade, which we were all over here at Chat Sports on our Cowboys show, Micah Parsons, the Packers, a good player, an upfront, right-away starter in Kenny Clark, and 2 first-rounders over 2 years is what Dallas got for Micah Parsons. And again, Glazer saying Crosby's available, and the asking price looks to be more than what we're looking at on screen here. However, one reporter gives his opinion and his reporting, another gives theirs. Ian Rapoport jumped in pretty quickly because I was very interested in asking price here. I think it's a very valuable part of the conversation about any team that wants Maxx Crosby. It's not going to be Micah Parsons compensation because he was younger. But, a late first-round pick would be real. It is what it is. If that's what it is, they're not going to replace Maxx Crosby. Even if they hit on a great pass rusher, they're still not going to replace him. What you do is you replace him with a player and then use the money to go and get other good players and really build up the foundation of the team. For sure, you could make an argument that trading him makes sense. I want you to keep in mind words like foundation, younger, trying to replace Maxx Crosby, because we'll get into that in just a second. But do you guys want Maxx Crosby? Is that something you want for the Bengals? The money, the drama, the assets, going and getting him? If you want in on it, hit that thumbs up button right now. Elite pass rusher. That's what we are talking about with Maxx Crosby. Has had some light health issues here and there with the Raiders, but I mean, overall, the production is there. Multiple years of really, really good stuff. Everything you want in a premier pass rusher under 30 years old. I think like 28 to 32, you're still getting a lot out of a pass rusher, and especially elite pass rushers. And Maxx Crosby not always built as a bull rusher. He's got moves. He's got bendability and that ability to do different things at that position. His abilities have not led to winning, and I'm not going to fault him completely for that. I just thought it was worth mentioning. Shout out 2021. The Bengals beat the Raiders in that 2021 wildcard game, 45-71 with the Raiders. And again, defensive end, you look at Myles Garrett, you look at Maxx Crosby, they're not necessarily correlated. I mean, Myles Garrett literally broke the sack record this season, and the Browns are picking in the top 10. So I don't put too much weight in edge rushers and defensive ends and their direct correlation to winning. However, I think they very much help. I don't know how good the Browns are without Myles Garrett this season. I don't know how bad. The Raiders are pretty bad, but are they even worse without Maxx Crosby? I think there's a little debate there, but I didn't want to put too much stock in this is how much the Raiders have won with Maxx Crosby. Coming up, Ja'Marr and T. They were sitting down with Kay Adams as the Maxx Crosby news broke. We'll break down their conversation with Kay Adams. I also have some mock trades lined up from what looks like Raiders fans want, what Bengals fans will give, maybe somewhere in the middle. And, of course, we'll hear more from you guys here on Bengals Breakdown. So hang in there. Do want to let you guys know, good opportunity here. I call it an opportunity. The big game's almost here. No better way to cash in during America's biggest event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, listen close. This means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So, close out the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Fantasy's done. I miss it. It's one of my favorite times of year. If you are missing fantasy football, Prize Picks is perfect for you. You pick the lineups, the players, the same way you do in fantasy. No draft required. Then you're picking more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. I'll give you a starter for your stat projection with the big game. Big game max discount. That's for Drake May, needing just 1 passing yard for the max discount to win, right? What a way to get your lineup going. Drake May just getting 1 yard and bang, you're good with that max discount there. Compare it with multiple other things or just one other projection, like, say, Jackson Smith and Jigba, over 93.5 receiving yards. Also some other options there. This was another lineup that we had drawn up. You could do all those things, one of those things, with another, 2, 3, 4. Get that lineup going. You can see how it kind of looks very similar to getting a fantasy lineup going. And bonus, how you play is up to you on Prize Picks. So if you want flexibility, choose Flex Play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the big payouts, that's what I always go for. You go for the power play. So no matter how you play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Here's the deal. One more time. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, what fun we're having talking Maxx Crosby to the Bengals. Bengals getting involved. And look, I think sometimes in the NFL, it's like the NBA. Stars want stars on their team, right? And it can't happen all that often. But hey, you got Tee Higgins, Jamar Chase at Radio Row for the Super Bowl, sitting down with Kay Adams. And surprise, surprise, the guys say something crazy when they're talking to Kay Adams. Really not a surprise there at all. Most guys do. Jamar and T sitting down with the Up and Adams host. Jamar Chase on what Pro Bowler he'd add to the Bengals roster. I got to say, I don't know if they knew at this point in time. I think they should, right? Time-wise, I think they should line up that the bombshell was out there. So, yeah, looks like by 9 o'clock. So, yeah, I want to go with your boy from Vegas, though, Maxx Crosby, Jamar Chase said. T immediately jumping in. Hey, Max, man, come on to the Bengals, baby. And, of course, Kay Adams, a big Bengals fan. She's with it. I can see him in Cincy. Higgins, I can, too. I want to add real quick, Maxx Crosby, big Ohio State fan, and he now announces himself to be a Cavs fan after James Harden, now with the Cavaliers. I don't really know what happened there, but, hey, if you want to sell him on that, get him some season tickets to the Buckeyes and the Cavs, and I think that could help a little bit. Now, the little bit of irony here with Tee Higgins saying, yeah, Max, come on over, get involved here. I immediately was looking around like Raider World, and they want Tee Higgins. They think he should be a part of that trade. We'll take a look at some mock trades in just a second. But, yeah, T was one of the names that many of them brought up, right? A foundational play-now player, just like Kenny Clark from the Packers to the Cowboys. If the Raiders want to get players that can play while getting those picks, Tee Higgins is definitely going to be a guy they're going to take a look at. So, what's your attachment to Tee Higgins, especially in a situation like this? Would you trade Tee Higgins in a trade for Maxx Crosby? Would you involve Tee Higgins here? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Immediately, these are the teams everybody's saying is in the mix, and we're seeing online, these are the guys. And, I mean, sometimes it's Captain Obvious, right? The Lions have been rumored to be linked to Myles Garrett and Maxx Crosby and different pass rushers. The Eagles have kind of lost a little bit of oomph on their defense. The Patriots, I think you could argue, don't have a star besides Christian Gonzalez on their defense. And, I mean, Christian Gonzalez a star, just really good. Who knows? And then the Bears are back. So they're rumored to be in on any trade that involves any big name. So those are the teams in the mix. I think the Bengals can compete with these teams. I think the keyword here is if they want to. If ownership decides they want to compete with these teams, I absolutely believe the Bengals can do it. Now, the T trade, look, this is the business. You want to wow them. You want to go big. You want to make this trade happen for everybody. I think 2 first-rounders is a great place to start. I'm already seeing our Bears channel. They won't put 2 first-rounders in there. They had a first, a second, and DJ Moore for Maxx Crosby and nothing else. I do think you should get a pick back. We were talking with Aiden Priest and Tom Downey here in the office. They agreed, should get a pick back with something like this. And then, like I asked you guys, is T a name that you draw the line with? Can't have Tee Higgins, can have Tee Higgins. I think that's an option. I think the Raiders would be very impressed and happy to get a Tee Higgins. I think that sends it over the edge in a lot of negotiations. However, in let's keep it calm, let's get a deal done that works for everybody. You heard Ian Rapoport talk about replacing Crosby, using money, using picks. Get Shamar in there. Sell Shamar. You sold Shamar to yourself and you drafted him. Sell him to the Raiders. Hey, replace your aging pass rusher with a young pass rusher. Fresh off a first-round pick, 2 more first-round picks to go with it. That's probably your big deal. I don't know how many free agents you can get after that. I haven't really studied the cap stuff with this. We're just having some fun with a Maxx Crosby trade scenario here today. I've asked you guys enough questions. Be sure to answer them down below. If you missed them, you can go back down to the comment section. I've got them all listed for you. And this is why you subscribe. We have a very busy offseason here, guys. You'll get all the news, rumors, and analysis here. That includes trades, free agents, draft, and more. Like I said, we are asking you guys the questions. You've seen us put your comments up on screen. We want to hear from you. Subscribers keep going up, which means more comments, which means more videos here on Bengals Breakdown. We appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, all that can work for you and us by hitting that sub button right now.